I'm Celeste Woodland, daughter of eldest son John.
And I'm John, son of eldest son John.
We would like to read Life Sketch, The Life of Ellen Davenport. Ellen was born July 2nd, 1917 in Savannah, Georgia. To Oliver and Vesta Dubberly. She was the oldest of 6 children, the youngest of whom was born when she was 16. All of her growing up years were spent helping her mother by taking care of her youngest brothers and sisters and doing housework. This was probably how Ellen developed her affinity for caring for children. Ellen went on to raise 6 children and was stepmother to 5 more. During this time, she provided foster care for as many as 32 children and probably more. Over the years, her interest in children extended to her many grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and great-great-grandchildren. She always asked about their welfare and knitted sweaters and afghans for each. As a young girl, Ellen was a member of Girl Scouts and took violin lessons, becoming an accomplished violinist. Ellen was known for her compassion and caring, willing to help people in need. From helping her mother as a young girl to feeding the stray cats at Logan Park, she performed many acts of kindness. Her son Ed recalls a time when she, as a young mother with her second child, she breastfed her cousin's newborn child along with her own when her cousin was not able to do so. Another son, Rick, recalls her service to Dorcas, which provided clothing, household items, and food to people in need. She volunteered at least 30 hours per week for many years. Kimberly, adopted granddaughter, reflects, Grandma Dee was a great and unique woman. I'll always remember her for the way she loved me. She always made me feel like a true member of our family and not like the adopted daughter. For that, I'll always cherish Grandma Dee. She will truly be missed. As a homemaker, she was very industrious, always busy canning, knitting, or sewing clothes. Rick recalls a time when she would can 500 quarts of fresh fruit per season: peaches, pears, apricots, cherries, prunes, and Concord grapes, saying, "That was dessert in my childhood."
Rick wasn't the only one that ate all that. Ellen was known for her keen memory. She put that memory to good use by writing about her life and the life of her family. Altogether, she wrote more than 7 books and published a book of poems. In addition to writing, Ellen constantly worked on making scrapbooks and photo albums about the families and individuals, creating a legacy for her future generations. Some closing reflections by granddaughter Joy and daughter Nancy. Joy reflects, when I picture Grandma, the first thing I remember is that little crackle of a laugh that she'd get when she got tickled. I remember her as an optimistic person who was not easily shocked by the changes around her. She made an impression on me once in recent years when she saw one with a speedy motorcycle and some tattoos. And while I thought she would say, "Oh, kids," she gave a little crackle and act like she thought maybe she'd like to ride on that motorcycle. Even though I don't remember all the details of the day, as she recalls, it still makes me check my attitude and not be so quick to criticize the changes and the progress around us. Nancy reflects, when I was a child, I made a Mother's Day card for Mom that said, "In all the world, there's no other who can take the place of my mother." Nancy says she can still say that, and there is no one like our mother. Grandma had many interests too. She was friendly to everyone, but keenly interested in children. She lived an ordered life and determined to do what she believed was the right thing. Excuse me. Her view of life was black and white. There was no gray. Once convinced, she wasn't easily swayed. She took life in stride, doing what she could as well as she could. These were her strengths. Her children have only sweet memories of their grandmother. Through the visits were few and far between. She will be sorely missed.
Final reflection. Granddaughter Joy writes, I know that throughout her life, her desire was to serve God and please Him, looking forward to the eternity she would spend with Him. So it struck me, as we knew the end was near, that she was about to complete a lifelong goal and would soon be with her Lord, and that made me glad for her. Upon reading some of Grandma's notebooks last night, I came across something that I wanted to share with you all. Things I am thankful for, she writes. That my mother didn't name me Olive Henrietta. That I didn't have a house full of children. That I learned to play violin and enjoyed it. That I have sisters and brothers. That my children procured a good education for themselves. That I was fortunate as to adopt 2 children. That I have such beautiful, smart grandchildren. That I found a marvelous new husband and 5 dear stepchildren.